I'm a bigger white guy, so naturally I have a target on my back for any child beggars. Recently, we have been visiting the hometown area of my wife, and what really irks me is the opportunist kids. I've seen the beggar kids with handlers in Manila and Cebu, parts of Boracay. These kids are clearly not dumb. They're just clean, random kids who see a big white foreigner and think it's easy money. I can't go to public parks or beaches without being hit up by them. And they're way more persistent than the actual beggar kids. It's like the ones who have handlers know not to waste time on someone once they've said no. But the local kids are persistent to the point where I almost lose my cool. Today, it was two boys who followed me back to my brother-in-law's car and stood right outside the window, tapping and making faces asking for money. Blocked the mother-in-law from getting in her door, and she gives in and gives them 50 pesos each. She always does. Kids annoy me, and the mother-in-law, who doesn't have the money to be doing it, opens her bag and gives in to these annoying kids. So next time they see you guys trying to have a peaceful walk in the park or on the beach, they know if you say no, the family will just foot the bill. How often has this happened to you? We all know that the Philippines is a poor country. There are many people living in poverty. It's also a country full of scammers, corruption, and manipulation of the younger people. This is because they have basically syndicates who gather up children and use them to gather money from you. This is not that case. This is about local children that see you coming, and although they may not be as poor or living on the streets, but they know you have money and they just simply expect you to give them money because they are locals. Oftentimes, these children aren't even that young. They can be in their teens and dressed better than you or I. This was someone's complaint on Expat Forum, which I am certain many of us feel the same way. And that's the truth about this country. You will have a hand in your pocket wherever you go, anywhere from the airport to immigration to officials, working people that come to fix anything in your home, to the malls, to purchasing something, renting anything. This is very common, so you have to mentally be prepared that they expect more from you. Because when I first arrived in the Pinoy land, I had a big heart, and I always used to give to whoever looked poor. Soon I realized that it's all a facade. This is how they want to live. They have no hope for the future, and they just want a handout without ever working for it. It's not just kids, it's also adults and people in their later years. That is why they expect the woman in the house to marry a foreigner so they can have a source of income. Nothing new, but a reminder for those that are thinking of coming to this country to live long term. Henry Young, 42, says the best strategy is to give nothing. If you see one kid and want to help out, the moment you do, 10 more kids appear as if by magic. This is also the case because people are watching these kids. Once you start to hand them something, next comes around the corner a group of 3 or 4. Also, if you really want to help, I recommend purchasing them some food and not a Jollibee, but perhaps some bread from those places, the bakeries that are so cheap with the roaches in the window. They don't mind. Playwright says, unfortunately, asking for money is a way to normalize in the Philippines. It depends on the family, but it's very common that kids message their grandparents for gifts or that godparents are chosen by their wealth. Another example I saw recently, virtual Christmas caroling. The kids sing some Christmas carols and post their QR code from Gcash online, then ask money publicly from their relatives. As harmless as these things sound, it normalizes the process of asking others for money, and next they beg people on the streets. It is also super normal in the Philippines to borrow from relatives and friends or ask money for your wedding, birthday party, election, etc. I will give you countless examples of situations where people in Philippines ask each other for money that they never return, and it always shocks me how normal it is. This is also precisely the situation in this country. I find it ironic that they think they are proud people but have no shame or think twice about reaching out with their hand, asking you for money for absolutely no reason, oftentimes showing zero appreciation for you, the person who gave them the money. Born leadership says it bothers me when you can see the parents telling them to come ask for money. I just completely ignore them unless you can see that they are truly homeless and have nothing. Recently, I was approached in the street by a young girl with a ton of makeup on that asked me for money so she and her child could eat. I told her to spend money on food and not makeup. Pretty Cat says, I have the same problem at the 7-Eleven near my condo in Davao. There's a pack of preteen kids always begging there, and they have even followed me a 150-meter walk back to my condominium complex, pestering me. I even told the condo guards, who are not armed, can't you just shoot them? Over the road from the 7-Eleven, there's a Circle K. It doesn't have the variety of the 7-Eleven, but it does have a security guard and no kids. I've emailed 7-Eleven directly and told them I'm avoiding their stores for the exact reason such as this. I think this is comical. Do you think 7-Eleven is going to do anything? This is the same 7-Eleven with half of their items being out of stock, out of date, expired, with no air conditioning ever working, with their burnt up chicken for 100 pesos with a piece of rice, a small portion that people buy because there is no standards. They do not care about anything that you write to them, and guarantee they will never do anything about it. Spirit of Le Mans says, just in case anyone needs to hear this, it's essential to keep your cool in the Philippines in any situation. The locals around might be kind and attentive enough to help you out. You could consider taking a video of the activity bothering you. If they really become a nuance, you could ask their full names, where they live, and ask to speak to their parents. Then they might understand that their behavior is not okay. The next step, which is very unlikely to be necessary, is to speak with the local barangay. Many people try to be supportive and helpful in the comment area of this person's post. However, this is a cultural thing. It will not change anytime soon. Not in you or I's lifetime. This is the way this country operates. Begging, that's it. Begging online, asking you for money, and leading to scams which they think they can pull off. I guess they can, to simpletons, new ones to the Philippines, but for people like myself, it will never happen. This is the reality and the truth about this country, about local kids and beggars. Yesterday's video was about a black man whose girlfriend or wife's family did not like the fact that she married a black man and thought that she would have made more money by marrying a white man. Many of you had your feelings hurt. Facts don't care about your feelings. This is the reality and the truth about the Philippines. If Filipina had the choice of marrying a white man or a black man that has the same amount of money, they will always choose the white man. Sure, there may be one or two curious women out there wanting to see if the stereotype is real, but that's not the case. I am telling you how it is. I don't care about your skin color. It is not from a place of hate. It is from reality, and you need to be prepared. But at the end of the day, the only color that matters in the Philippines is green. That is number one. Then it is Koreans and Japanese and other Asian countries, or Swiss or Franks or Europeans, French, any other country that is white. And then it becomes the Americans and Canadians and Australians now, since we've fallen back behind, at least to the popular ones. And lastly, just like dating sites, it's people of color of any country. Do not hate me. They even hate their own countrymen who have darker skin. So what makes you think that you are somehow special? This is the truth. The best comment is from MSR. If anything, the Philippines economy will go backwards. AI is going to destroy a huge chunk of the economy, the foreign call center and BPO outsourcing industry. The worst comment is from Marshy. Everything you said here is also happening in other countries. You specifically, our country, Philippines, pure negativeness. I've never once claimed that these issues only happen in the Philippines. The purpose of this channel and these videos are to balance the overly positive videos and channels on YouTube to allow men to decide for themselves, let them know the realities of this country, the truth, the dark side, that it's not just rainbows, sunshines, and butterflies. Just because I say Philippines has racist people, it does not mean I think that there are no racist people in America or any other country. Just because I say the Filipinas are scammers, it does not mean that I think that there are no scammers in other countries. Thanks for watching. God bless.